This episode is brought to you by Muntins Malts, a company that is passionate about providing premium malts to brewers worldwide. For over a century, Muntins has been a leading supplier of brewing and distilling malts, offering the finest British malted barley on the market. You can experience the difference Muntins offers by joining a recipe receiving tier of our Trub Club, because every kit that ships out now includes premium Muntins malt. You know, we've known the Muntins crew for a long time, and I can tell you, friend, you're going to love brewing with their grains. Ask your local supply shop to carry Muntins malts, or homebrewers can join our Trub Club at homebrewhappyhour.com/club. Be a part of the community and come brew with us. Thank you, Muntins, for supporting our efforts and homebrewers worldwide. Today's show is brought to you by hopsdirect.com. Grown in the esteemed Yakima Valley on the Pewterball family farm, hopsdirect.com offers the widest variety of hops available online at incredibly competitive pricing. It's simple. They grow hops, they sell hops, and they ship hops straight from their family-owned farm to your doorstep. Producing the highest quality hops is hopsdirect.com's passion, and they're proud to be an independent grower in the craft beer industry. Go to hopsdirect.com right now and get what you need to make your brew day better. That's hopsdirect.com. Today's show is brought to you by Imperial Yeast. You hear us gushing over Imperial Yeast all the time, and that's because their yeast performs for us in every batch that we brew. Imperial Yeast is adored by commercial breweries and home brewers alike. Their pitch-right pouches are jam-packed with over 200 billion fresh yeast cells, guaranteed to deliver flawless, fast fermentations every time. Imperial Yeast strains are grown by a team of pro brewers and home brewers who live to help other brewers learn more and ferment better. Join any recipe receiving tier of our Trub Club and get a free upgrade to premium Imperial Yeast with every recipe kit that ships out to you. Learn more at homebrewhappyhour.com/club and come brew with us.
Entertaining shows with content that spreads information and sparks discourse throughout the community. This is the Pearl Media Network.
A Texas craft beer tradition inside Spoetzel Brewery with Shiner Brewmaster Greg Hener. This is Homebrew Happy Hour, episode 462. Welcome back, my friends, to another episode of the Homebrew Happy Hour. This is the show where we supply the answers to your homebrewing questions and discuss all things related to craft beer. And if you, my friends, have a question you'd like us to discuss on a future episode, you could go to homebrewhappyhour.com, click on that submit a question link at the top of the page. Even better, why don't you call it in to 325-305-6107. When I use your voicemail on a future episode, get yourself a gift card to kegconnection.com. Does not get much better than that, except that it does. I'm so excited for today. I am, and I wrote stuff down, Greg. I am your host, Joshua Stubbe. I didn't have to read it for that. But today I'm recording live inside the Spoetzel Brewery, located in beautiful Shiner, Texas, joined by Shiner's Brewmaster, Mr. Greg Hener. Greg, my friend, thank you so much for coming on the show. We already met and all that, but for the camera. Meeting for the first time. Didn't talk at all before this. I love this campus. I haven't been here in forever. And I was telling you, when I got to the front office, and the lady's super nice, everyone's very friendly. It's a very small town family feel. But when I told them why I was here to do the podcast, you know, they told me, grill him, make sure you asked him hard questions. And I was like, oh, poor Greg, man. No, yeah. But they're super nice.
Work on him.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We gotta go over there. We'll have them on the show right after this.
Yeah.
We'll be like, see how you feel. I did write stuff down about you. Greg has a lifelong legacy relationship with Shiner Brewery as the son of longtime Shiner Brewmaster John Hybner, and having worked at the brewery since 1983. Alongside making great beer, Greg also leads the Shiner Smokers competitive barbecue team, which I think I did read qualified for the World Food Championships.
Las Vegas.
I did not know there was a World Food Championships. Is there a World Food Eating Championship?
I'm sure there is.
That's not competitive eating. I can't compete with those guys, the Joey Chestnuts, but I could throw down. And we're going to get to that. We'll talk about that. What I want to start with, though, before we dive into the Shiner clone that us as a club are doing for this month for all of our members across the country, we're doing a Shiner clone. I appreciate you for not doing a cease and desist on me. That's great. Before we get into those details, I like one of the things that I am enjoying about being here is before I came, I try to do my homework on you a little. People who watch the show know I'm really bad at actually putting in effort. I apologize, Greg, but you don't do a lot of media. You're a man behind the scenes.
That's me.
And just run. Yeah. And even Shiner in general has great commercials. And I've seen news segments every now and then. But y'all are just like focused on making good beer and selling it. And that's it. Like, it's not a lot of pizzazz. It's impressive because I am like a needy child. Like, give me attention. And y'all are. It's total opposite. But your history with here, like I kind of briefly mentioned, you go a long way back. I don't want to date you. That's the nice way of saying I don't want to call him old. I was born in 85. You started here in 83.
Right.
Let's talk about your history with Shiner and how it came to be through your pop, through you starting to work here and building up to eventually being the brewmaster of one of the original craft breweries in Texas.
Yeah, it's been crazy. I mean, ever since I've been growing up, my dad worked here. So, even when I was underage, but my dad started in 1966. His cousin used to work here.
Okay.
So I'm sure that's how he got on. And then he went on and made Brewmaster in 72. And so then I graduated in 83 and I came straight out of high school. And where'd I come? Straight to the brewery. So.
What did they have you doing in 83?
In 83 I was in maintenance.
Okay.
Yeah, about 3 years on the maintenance. We didn't have but one other maintenance guy, and then me. I was just a little gopher, just running around.
I've been with the company. I've been with CM Becker and Keg Connection LLC for 18 years, and I'm still a gopher. I'm a grown man.
Right.
But so was it a like you get out of high school, not a job of necessity. Was it a job of like familiar? You know what I mean? Like, did you come here because, hey, my pop can get me in and I will enjoy it? Like, you've already spent time at the brewery before you're probably employed.
Oh yeah. I was here running around way before then and, spin grain.
Yeah.
We all got on to spin grain. So there was no dump trucks. We didn't have no dump truck back then. We had to shovel it off, So anyway, my mom did most of it because I was too small back in the days.
Yeah.
But then when I got before in high school, then who did it?
And this is an agriculture town. Did y'all give the spent grain to?
We had cattle back then. Yeah.
No,
we still got some now, but back then we had quite a few.
So y'all's own on property.
Not on property.
Oh, but
yeah.
Okay, but it was your cat. So
yeah.
Oh, that's a nice relationship.
Yeah.
My obviously not in the same quantity. I have chickens. They love spent grain.
Oh, yeah.
They love. So when we brew, I brew in 10-gallon batches, nothing, right? But we get done with brew day and the deer in my neighborhood are waiting for their allotment and my chickens wait for their allotment. So, okay, guys, here's
right.
But
right.
So shoveling spent grain and you didn't get run off. Like that didn't scare you off. Like that kind of, because that's just.
Well, that just growing up back then. I mean, you worked,
Yeah. That's a good point. You're right. Yeah. And you did what your pop told you to.
Right.
So your pop was the brewmaster for, I think, 33 years or 33 years, right about. At that, while he's brewmaster, what was your transition from maintenance into more active on the brewing side of operations?
So, like I said, I started in maintenance. It was either 2 or 3 years I was in maintenance. And then I went to the bottling shop. It didn't seem long. It seemed like maybe, I don't know, a few months. It seemed like. And then it was opening in the cellars and the brewing. So I went to the cellars. And this is where, filtered beer, clean tanks. We did everything was manual. You got in the tank, scrubbed them out. Everything manual. There was no automatic CIPs like these days.
Yes, sir.
But anyway, there was no ventilation of CO2. You put a water hose in there and sprayed it for a while, trying to get some of that CO2 out of there before you crawled in.
Before you crawled in. Or it's going to be a bad day.
Yep, it was a headache day.
Yes, yeah.
But got through all that, and then I was in cellars for seemed like forever. And back then we had the old bungs. You drove in the kegs.
Yes.
Kegs. So it was in a keg and the cellars were all the same. And So we would get the returns from the kegs, and we had an old bung machine. You pull this drill down, and it drills the drill out, and what comes out, CO2 and or air and old beer. It could be sitting in that keg for a while. I said, I ain't staying here long,
Get me somewhere else. Yeah.
But no, I did it for, years and years and years. Anyway, then I got into brewing a few years later, and then in 94 is when I went to Siebel's to brewing school.
The infamous, who they just announced, I think they're moving to Canada, right?
I heard that, yeah.
Boo. Yeah.
Right?
A lot of brewmasters I've interviewed over the years, y'all all have Siebel's in common. It was the top.
Yeah, it was top back then.
Top of the top. Yeah, and they're still prestigious. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're Montreal, maybe, I think is where they're going to. But either way,
Right,
they're moving out of here. Boo. But anyway, so you go to Siebel's with the intent of a professional career in brewing.
Right.
Knowing that you were going to come back here? Or,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. No one come back here. We were just in the middle of the new brew house.
Okay.
The one that's there now, the copper one. And that was being built as I was in school. So when I got back, finished it up, and then pretty much in charge of the new brew house. Automation, computers. Back then, in old brew house, there's no computers, no nothing, just hand valves, steam valves, whatever. So, So
I wonder too, if you don't mind me interrupting real quick, in the old days of manual, was it that much more difficult to consistently brew the same beer? You know what I mean by that? Like a homebrewer's struggle frequently is, man, I did this batch of Kolsch, and the next batch I did is a little different. Where a commercial brewery, you don't have the luxury of a home brewer variants. People go to the bar and they get Shiner Bock and they know what it's supposed to taste like. Whether it's in Shiner, Texas, or it's in Portland, Oregon,
right,
it has to be consistent. When you're doing manual, how the heck do you stay consistent?
It was tough. I mean, back then we had no meters,
Right.
You just, you feel the lauter ton up to that bolt right there. When you see it, that's it, stop, or you smart to that bolt. That's it, Same thing with steam or brew kettle. You just dial it up when you had a chart recorder, see your temperature, and you held it there for that hour or whatever you boiled it for, and and you just dial it with your
incredible
experience.
Yeah, and you just trust the experience.
Yeah.
When you went to the new brew house, automation and all that, did that streamline, like, did it relieve anxieties, or did it add to it because of new technology?
Well, it added to new technology. You didn't know nothing about
Right,
it, But I mean, we had some good programmers back then, or still do. But I mean, they did a good job of teaching us and familiarize us with the whole system. And then we see consistency. I mean, one after the other just went on through. So that was a big change.
And you started there. Are you assistant brewmaster at this point, or are you still just on the brew team? Like you're a shift brewer at this point?
Right. I was just what do you call them? Brewing supervisor.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wasn't no assistant. My dad was still brewmaster. Jimmy March was brewmaster.
Yeah.
And then I was just brewing. So I just managed the brewing and the cellars and whole 9 yards. And so this time went on, and then my dad retired in 2005, and then Jimmy moved to brewmaster, and then that's when I came assistant brewmaster.
Yeah. Jimmy was on. I found a lot more content on Jimmy than you or your pop. He liked the camera.
He liked the camera.
He liked the camera. Good guy. Everyone knows him. What year was it that you became? That was when you became assistant, when your pop retired,
right?
And then was it kind of known when Jimmy was ready to retire, you'd step up to the helm and take over the reins?
I was hoping, but
of course. Oh yeah, of course,
you never know. Yeah. But
and that was 24 or 23?
24.
So so
2 years now.
Brewmaster on almost 2 years. How does it feel, that shift from? I mean, because I don't even know the pressures of commercial brewing, but I imagine there's a big leap from assistant to brewmaster in regards to responsibilities and tasks, and not just the title.
Right. Yeah, you're right. I mean, everything's on your shoulders. You better make sure it's right. So I mean, it just not much change because I did it for so long already, but it's just a little more addition of stuff like this, or Jimmy was always a speaker. I was just behind the scenes.
Just brewing.
Just brewing,
Yeah.
yeah. Make sure you get it done, yeah.
I want to ask you too, if you don't mind, like, how did your pop get into brewing? Because your pop was he was the brewmaster when you were little.
Right.
So you grew up and that's all you knew him as a brewmaster. But do you know how he even got into brewing in the first place?
Like I said, when he moved back from Mississippi, he moved back to Shiner. Both of my parents were from Shiner.
Yeah.
So he moved back, and I was born up there, and I was less than a year old, and he moved back.
You don't remember it, yeah.
No, I don't remember it, right? So, like I said, he had a cousin that worked here.
Right, that got him in. But I mean, but how he worked his way up to Brewmaster.
So he was, they started him in the cellars. He was, I don't know if you're ever familiar with glass line tanks.
I'm not.
So glass line tanks, I mean, the tanks we still got some in D cellar. It's a steel tank, but they're glass line where you don't get no iron pickup, whatever.
Oh, yes.
So as you're cleaning it, sometimes you'll drop a brush, you drop something in there, and you'll chip it. So I'm assuming back then they had some spots in there where they needed to clear it all off and then realign it with glass. So so you grind it all off, and you heat the tank up, and it pours like glass. You know, anyway. So that's what he did for, I don't know, pretty good while. And then he went to the bottling for I don't know how long. And then the Miss Seeley, the Cosmos' daughter, owned it back then at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And then the brewmaster sent him to Siebel's in 72.
So he was grooming him for a position as a brewer.
Right.
You don't send someone to Siebel's on a whim.
No. So he went, I think 72, he went to Siebel's. And then shortly after that, he became brewmaster. Yeah. So
what an incredible honor. I mean, I just like the fact you have people here who are, a lot of them, lifelong employees. You'll have good retention. And I like the concept of building up people from departments. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could have someone in packaging now who has a passion for brewing, and they have a visible path into that department. Like, y'all prefer to homegrown as opposed to putting out the LinkedIn or whatever for a brewer.
Oh yeah. We always try to do it within. Try to, like you said, you in the bottling department, you've been there all your life or whatever, and okay, they want to brew, and they come to the brewing, so they learn the brewing, and then something happens in the bottling line. Okay, he knows what's going on down there. He can still, hey, this is what y'all need to do or whatever.
Absolutely. Have their hands involved in the company as much as possible makes them better.
Right.
Wherever they end up. Higher up on the ladder. No, I was just saying, when I was doing my homework, it seems like y'all have in every department a lot of long-time loyal employees.
Right.
Yeah. And y'all are still, independently owned. Y'all are still craft. I don't know what the BA's definition of craft is, but y'all are in it. Right now in 2026, how many barrels do you know off the top of your head, or roughly, are y'all brewing a year?
Well, this last year we did right at 400,000 barrels.
That's a lot.
When I started, it was 25 to 30,000.
Oh my gosh. That jump is more brew days or bigger equipment or all of the above? Like jumping from, like, if you're jumping triple digits of barrels, I'm saying you obviously have a lot more systems you're brewing with or brewing on.
Right.
But is it also more, I guess I could just segue that question to how many days a week are y'all actively brewing? Is it 7 days a week?
Right now we're 5 days a week.
Yeah. So work week.
So work week. Yeah. So we're good. But in 1995, when we built this brew house, the old brew house was 24/7. It didn't matter. Christmas, New Year's.
Oh my gosh.
We couldn't keep up.
The demand.
No demand. Yeah. So that's why we built the brew house on there, the copper one, because we couldn't keep up with the brew house, the old brew house. And we even added on to it was a 75 barrel brew kettle, and it was stainless underneath the copper. So we added a foot onto the stainless to make it a 100 barrel.
That's fantastic. You have this in-house.
Yeah. Made it bigger. And
I love
so we did 100 barrels.
Yeah.
Until 95 when we built this one, 175 barrels.
That's incredible. And again, what people don't realize too, like Shiner, it's not that this town will never boom, but y'all are still, like, y'all been producing, this brewery specifically, a staple of craft beer for a very long time. And the drive out here is so quaint, and the town is so quaint, and even the campus, it's beautiful. Quaint is a compliment. I just mean it just is very welcoming. Whereas, you know what I mean? Like, you're not dealing, I guess, with the stresses of like y'all have such a good relationship with your town council, like you know what I mean? Like this relationship you have with the town. Do you think that aids towards y'all having good employees and being able to not worry about, like the stresses of running a business are already rough, much less if you have contention with city council.
Yeah, no, we all get along. We all, like you said, almost like family, but we're not family. But no, it's all a good group here around Shiner. It's it's amazing just to grow up here and you grew up with all these people. Back in the days, I was a young one, and you're looking at these older ones that were working here or on the city council. They're all gone. Now we're the old ones.
I didn't say that, Greg. I didn't say that. No, but and then again, though, for me, like I just turned 40, which is for most people that's young. With my family history, I'm 3/4 of the way done, Greg. But the older I get, and especially since having kids, you notice time a lot more. And I get with your time here, being here for over 40 years, literally with the company for 42 years or almost 43 years, pardon me. Yeah. I'm sure, well, first off, I'm sure time just went like that. You blinked and all of a sudden, I'm the brewmaster. But also, too, though, it's a cool thing to look back at the legacy because, like I said, your pop had such a legacy here and then handing it off to you. Like, do you feel that as weight or do you feel that as honor or, again, kind of all of the above?
Well, I didn't think it was ever going to happen because I hate to say it, my man didn't give me nothing. I mean, he made me work for everything I did. Old school is right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, but no, it's been a fun trip. I mean, like you said, 43 years, it seemed like it was yesterday. I was in there in cellars in there scrubbing tanks, but
yeah, thank God it wasn't literally yesterday. Yeah, cleaning. Right. We always joke. Again, I can't fathom at a commercial level, even at a homebrew level. It's like 40% brewing and 60% janitorial for art, like the brewery day is fun and all that. And I do it with my pop. We do a live stream every month. And when it comes time to clean, I magically disappear. And like, oh yeah, Pop, you got that, Pop? The janitorial is the worst part. But that's good to start someone off in maintenance. You get an appreciation of the whole process when you're cleaning up. The beer here, everybody, like when I announced that we were doing this concept for 2026 for we call it the Trub Club. I know I'm mispronouncing Trub. It's kind of an inside joke, but we're American and I say whatever I want. The point of the club for 2026 is we want to do a commercial clone every month. And I want to interview those brewmasters to talk about the style we're doing, because these are all the beers that we're trying to line up for this whole year are all these original pioneering type of beer that nostalgia comes to mind for people when we talk about a lot of our club and audience are 40 plus, and a lot of them are 60 plus. And I know Shiner, that's young. That's young. I didn't ask you your age. I'm not gonna. That's young. Yeah. But like when I talk about Shiner, so my father has stories. The James, who's a co-host of the show, usually, this is what got him into brewing was Shiner Bock, like 20 something years ago. My father-in-law, who's a pastor, the only beer he drinks is Shiner. Where I'm going with this is Shiner in Texas specifically was a gateway for craft beer to a lot of people. How do y'all view that role as, like, when people in Texas think of craft beer or their first craft, they think of Shiner, usually,
yeah. I mean, you hear that same story, like you're saying, they think of Shiner being the first craft beer, which we were. I mean,
1909, is that when it started?
1909, yeah. Right. So, but yeah, now, so all these, craft brewers now, we were the first. We were been there a long time.
And Bock, so I didn't actually do my homework on this because I wanted it to be part of the conversation. Has Shiner Bock always been the flagship, or was there other styles and then Bock became a standout because of demand?
Yeah. Back in the days, it used to be just seasonal.
Okay.
The Bock was always at the end of the year. And the locals always said, because they clean out the vats at the end of the year. Once a year, they clean their vats out. That's what made it so dark, but not true. Yeah. But before that was Texas Special and a couple other, but it was all, it was no dark beer. It was just a regular lager beer and stuff. So
German Czech style.
right, right. So then when started doing it full time, it's like 1974. We started doing Bock full time. So they went away with that. This is the bottom of the barrel,
Absolutely. How funny that would like. That's almost parallel to like fajitas, where it was like that was the cheap meat cut, and now what fajitas like $20 a pound,
right,
or even brisket. Golly, we'll talk about that with you later. I cannot fathom how y'all cook so much brisket, how you can afford to. But
right.
But when Bock, you said like 74 is when it became full time year round. Did it immediately take off as the front runner of Shiner Brewing?
It did shortly after that. Austin, Texas, where it took off, and after that it spread to, Houston, San Antonio, and stuff like that. But Austin was our main distributor back in the 80s when I started.
Yeah.
I remember Austin, so anyway, so after that it started spreading everywhere. Then after Austin took off.
Austin's good for something. Yeah. I don't know how often you go there now. I can't, the traffic. Oh yeah. Can't get in Austin.
Right.
When did Shiner start going out of the state or even out of the tri-state area? Do you have a recollection of?
So I don't know exactly what year, but I know 1989 is when Mr. Alvarez, Gambrina's company, took over.
Yes.
So and he had Corona. So that's shortly after that, or at that time is when it started going other states, lots of states, and all the states.
Right. And that just rocket shipped.
It just kept going.
Everything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
How did that change? I have to recall what you had said, but I'll just ask it again. Were you on the brewing side of the company at that point when Gambrina's took over? Were you brewing?
Yeah.
How did that affect y'all when now distribution isn't just here, it's here?
Well, it didn't affect me much because, we get a plan monthly, yearly, whatever, saying how much we need. We don't know a year how much we need, but, weekly, monthly, okay, you got to get all these ingredients and get them in, because Bock is going to go, if we don't, back then we only had Bock and premium,
okay,
so we were just chugging along. And, in the early 80s, when 90 even, we didn't have but like 10 fermenters. That's all we had.
You're kidding.
That's it.
And y'all are meeting demand. So that's why you were every day you're brewing.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's what we did. So when in 2000, before this brew house came up, 95. Yeah. We had a big cellar with 18 tanks in there, 6 of them 400 barrels, and the rest of them were 1,100 barrels.
Okay.
So when this brew house came up, we can just keep filling, so.
What I have to ask too real quick, because the volume that you're familiar with brewing is just unfathomable to my little homebrewer brain. What's your pilot system? It's probably a 10 barrel,
5 barrel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, okay. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
3 vessel or what kind of like?
Yeah, 2 vessel.
A 2 vessel, like rims.
Combination of mash and lauter tun. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping. I'm not gonna put you, John, in the spot. You had said, well, I'm hoping to get some B-roll footage around the brewery because it's so fascinating. Like I said, I have not done a brewery tour here, and I would love to in a while. And I would love to get the equipment because I don't think people realize not just the new equipment, but like how this campus it's large. And when I walked up, I could smell y'all are brewing today.
Oh yeah,
I could smell it. That wonderful smell, and it's a very polarizing smell. I don't know, like my wife can't stand the smell of the mash, but my pop and I, it's like our favorite smell on the planet.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, it's like oatmeal.
Especially in the wintertime, when it's cold outside, the breeze comes across.
And today for Texas, it's kind of cold. It was like 50 when I got it.
Yeah.
And so I had offered we could do it outside, but I was really hoping you'd say, let's go inside. So thank God we're inside. But yeah, that smell and like, and the breeze was going and it's a beautiful sunny day and I can just smell it. I was like, oh, today's a good day. But Shiner, let me get back. I digress too much, Greg. Shiner becoming the flagship. Can we discuss the style? Like it is not just iconic to Texas, but a lot of people across the country now go to it because it's consistently good. This amber lager, this Bock, pardon me.
Mm-hmm.
And what is it about the beer you think resonates with people and makes it y'all's flagship?
Well, it's a dark beer. You think of it as being stout, heavy, but it's not. It's very drinkable. It's smooth. That's how guess my father designed it, back then. I mean, and I mean, it ain't heavy. It don't fill you up. It ain't that hoppy. It ain't no high bitterness and something like that. So uh, it's easy drinking, accessible beer.
Yeah, and you took the words out of my mouth before we were recording. I was telling you my favorite styles. I'm in good company before you'll judge me. I'm a boring drinker, as 99% of our audience will attest to. Just German styles, specifically. I like Kolsch, I like Alt, and then give me a German lager, give me a Pils, give me a Helles, any day, and I'm a happy guy. There's nothing
Right.
going on in a good way. I mean, they're just it's just pleasant drinking, and they're low ABV because I don't want to be a drunk, Mom. See, I don't want to be a drunk. But you don't lose your inhibitions. Like, I respect people. My pop and I brew this coffee, this Imperial coffee stout once a year. This year's batch was 10%. I'm going to drink 4 ounces of it with a cigar and call it a night on that beer. I'm not drinking even a 12 ounce of it. Shiner, you're watching a football game, you're eating barbecue, whatever. You can have a few and still not lose your inhibitions. And if I had a path of breathalyzer, I could. But anyway, but I think that's the key to commercial success, is just being consistently reliable, right? Like with the beer, like people know what they're going to get with Shiner. The grains, when back in the day, like when your pop was formulating it, were brewing styles, like their original styles from Cosmos way back in the day, was it contingent on what you could get locally? And then as technology and commerce and we're all connected, now you're able to brew various styles because you're not contingent on, did the harvest make down the street?
Right. No, back in the days, and we still got all our grain by rail, and we still do all our bulk.
Yeah.
But we get our specialty malts by sacks or totes or whatever. But back in the days, we just get corn in 100-pound sacks. We didn't get them in a silo or nothing like that. They were in 100-pound sacks in a train car stacked. Went there with a forklift, set it at the door, and stacked that up like 900 sacks in a carload. So I did weigh about 145 pounds back then.
And these are 50 or 55 pound sacks?
100 pounds.
They're 100 pound
sacks.
Yeah.
100 pound sacks. Yeah.
Were you stats back then?
No. I would do a few by myself, but after that, one on each end. And
absolutely.
Yeah. But we had one malt silo. That was it. So you scheduled your other train in to come fill that. We had that was the only silo we had, was a malt silo.
What a trip.
Corn was in sacks.
Yeah. What a trip.
So to answer your question about the other malts,
yeah,
it was later on when, like you say, then they had all these other specialty malts, all this other stuff where you can make any kind of flavor beer you wanted to. But,
yeah, traditionally, like, when we go to Europe, because CM Becker, our manufacturers in Dusseldorf, and Dusseldorf is just alt beer for the most part. And it's because for hundreds of years, they're making use of their local water supply. They're making use of the local grains available and the local hops, right? Like alt beer, it wasn't that in olden times, brewers didn't have the luxury of, I'm going to make a recipe and it's going to use this hop that, no, it was, what can I get? And what can we use for that? Where I say this way too much on the show, but I'm going to say it again. It's the best time ever to be alive as a brewer, a home brewer specifically, because we have, if I wanted to, I came up with the recipe and we'll go over that. And, I know there's secrets in the trade. You can just wink at me if I'm close, but like, I can source these grains from anywhere, even if you weren't local and if it wasn't a local Texas type of malt or whatever. I could brew a style that's specific to Dusseldorf, Germany, because of the technology and industry. Where we're at with industry. Like, my kids don't realize, like, I bring home, or I say my wife brings home groceries, and they don't know what strawberry season is because they have strawberries year round. You know what I'm saying? Like my grandparents, or even my parents, perhaps, not calling the old pop, they're like, you had this kind of fruit this time of year, or this vegetable this time of year. Why? Because that's when we could harvest.
Yeah, you get out of the garden.
Yeah. So for brewing, like I said, it's so cool seeing regions having specialties where obviously Bock, it's a German, or is it Czech? The German.
Czech, German.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Hodgepodge.
Yeah.
That was the community in 1909, right?
Cosmos
was Czech, right? Or was it? I don't actually know.
Yeah.
I won't put you on the spot. I think he was
Good.
That's a chat there. We're going with it. I'll edit that out.
Yeah.
But I just mean like the beer style is so similar to the Bohemian style.
We came from Germany, so I guess he was German.
He's German.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess.
Cosmos was probably, I'm going to insert it right here. It'll be on the screen flashing.
Right.
He was the, it's not a history podcast, Greg. It's I just mean, I'm just so fascinated by, like, even in 1909, that's a lot closer to us than ancient brewing was.
Mm-hmm.
They were making stupid good beer that's held the test of time. Where sometimes I feel like brewers, we romanticize ancient brewing. Like there's brewers on YouTube who will, today I'm going to brew 1700 whatever kind of beer. And I'm like, I don't think you're using temperature control and you're using electric brewing. I don't think that beer back then was as good as you think it was.
Right.
But in 1909, we're in past that industrial revolution where they had the ability, the brew house was modern and for that time. And the processes, temperature control was a thing. Where the beer, like I feel like the turn of the century for the 20th century is when beer probably started being like,
exactly. Yeah.
You know,
you're right.
And again, y'all, Bock, you said became a staple in 74.
Right.
And y'all been consistent ever since then.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you're doing something right. On this level of brewing, is it really at this point just following tried and true instructions, or do you ever tweak it and see if anyone notices?
Yeah.
Well, again, a lot of homebrewers are engineer types, and so they'll get a recipe and then they'll tweak it a little. And I won't name names. I mean, even like New Belgium and local breweries in San Marcos, like Middleton, he has a Kolsch, and he's like, dude, I tweak it all the time, and no one notices, and I love it.
Right. Well, you could tweak it some things and just not unnoticeable, but. Yeah, you don't want to go
not veer too hard.
No.
Yeah, what the like I said, the distribution, or we've talked about, is across the country, and I think y'all are in Mexico for sure. Do you think? I know that's a marketing thing, but y'all have the capacity, I imagine, to go global.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean we could. I mean right now we could. Yeah, we can double our capacity easy. So
that's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah.
We one of the persons I neglected to mention, but I'll do it now. Our counterpart who runs CMB Schonkenlagen in Dusseldorf, is our manufacturing. His name's Stefan. He's coming to Texas soon. The only beer he ever wants us to ship him back is Shiner Bock. I told James I'd mentioned that on the show because it's so funny. You think, you love German styles, and
right.
You would think being in the heart of just classic German pills, being there in Germany, Dusseldorf, not necessarily near Munich or Berlin, but all of Germany has this rich history.
Right.
And he wants to take home Shiner Bock. That's his go-to. I just think it's a testament, right?
That's good. I mean, that's crazy, but yeah.
But outside of Bock, how many? Not limited. We don't have to get into limited runs yet. How many year-round styles do y'all offer, like that anyone can go to the store and get, or is it mostly just Bock and then a bunch of limited seasonal type runs?
No, we got seasonal and we got a bunch of full times also. Ask me the exact count. I can't check.
Is that many?
Is that many? Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
How does that complicate a brew? I mean, is your brew schedule then just like a ton of
we put Bock in there when we need specialty or some other smaller volume, we'll put that in there. And when there's no demand for that, put Bock in there. It's jumping back and forth, but it's the scheduling.
I will say I won't say the style because it's probably not announced yet. When I came up, you're my witness. Someone recognized me, guys, here at the brewery. Kevin,
right.
Shout out to you, my friend. I never get recognized, Greg. It feels good sometimes. But it was so cool. But he was brewing something that I don't think, if y'all have ever brewed it, I've never seen it on the shelf. And I'm excited to just, y'all had limited runs all the time. And because Shiner is such a well-known name in Texas, and especially in Central Texas, it's very frequent. People go to their liquor store, their grocery store, and I bet the variety packs fly off the shelf because people, okay, it has at least one can of Bock, and then the rest is a bunch of stuff I don't know. I'll try it. Do you find that that's how you get your limited runs into the hands to gauge if it will be good enough to be a year round?
That's what we do is right. You put it in a variety pack, and then you get comments on Facebook, wherever you get them on, and marketing gets their survey, and okay, just variety pack. Which flavor did they like the most? So
yeah, what sold? What feedback we got? Yeah,
that's kind of how they choose their year round, seasonal, or whatever. Yeah.
I'm not going to hold you to this, but you got to bring Kolsch back, and you got to bring it back quick, and you can just wink at me if that's a thing. Okay, we'll leave it there. Y'all done the last limited run? I think y'all did at Kolsch was like 23 or maybe 2022. I don't remember, but it falls right in line with what y'all do. I'm just going to leave it at that again. But seasonal stuff is that as the brewmaster, is your hand involved in the experimental seasonal stuff, or is that like someone brings it to you and you go, okay, let's try that?
Yeah, we got a marketing suggests a lot of stuff, and even owners involved, and then we got a group here that like Kevin, like you talk about, he likes that small brewing, so he gets in there and knocks it out. We get a recipe for him. We got a little group up in the lab that puts a recipe together, kind of how the style's supposed to be. Right. And then we start over there in the 5-barrel, and then we'll move it up to the big house while we tweak it over there a couple of times, So,
yeah. And it, talking to Kevin and seeing a handful of brewers, I imagine you have a passionate crew of people brewing for you. And even, he, as a home brewer, do you I know you've never homebrewed. Why would you? Yeah. Your whole childhood was in a commercial brewery. The last thing you want to do is go home and brew beer. I can't imagine. But do you find, though, a lot of home brewers making their way to trying to be professional commercial brewers?
Homebrewers came a long way from back in the 80s. Back in the 80s, 90s, man, you drink some of them homebrews and go, yeah. But now, I mean, they got technology out there and like these kits and all that kind of stuff. I mean,
it's wild, right?
Yeah, it's some good beer.
Like I said, I can't thank you enough for not cease and desisting us. No, I've actually never had a problem. You have been so welcoming, and one of the things, I've been in the industry on the draft side for almost 18 years, and I can confidently say 99% of the industry is so friendly. And why wouldn't we be? Right. This is working with beer and brewing is so fulfilling. You're hands-on, and so as a man and women were historically the brewers, so not being sexist again, Mom, I'm sorry, but it's just that it's a fulfilling thing, a brew day, and even at a home brewing level, and then the fruits of your labor, you could go to the production line and grab a bottle right off there, and I'm not planting seeds in your ears. Maybe we do that later. And that's got to be so rewarding, especially, again, I can't stress enough, guys, people, y'all aren't a macro brew, but people will crap on macro brewing for a number of reasons. But the one I've never understood that people don't realize is how hard it is to be consistent every batch at any volume, much less gigantic volumes of people will see it on the B-roll. That's not easy. That is hard work. So when you're able to pull a bottle off the line, or y'all have a lot of taps, so I know y'all got a lot of draft here. Right. You pour draft Bock and you drink it, and yep, that's exactly what a Shiner Bock supposed to be. That's got to be rewarding as the brewmaster.
So we every morning we taste beer in the lab. So it's we taste it before, after it's filtered, we taste it. When it gets into a bright beer tank, we taste it. And then after it gets in a can or bottle, they'll bring another sample up there. We'll taste it again just to see if anything
happens. What a rough day.
Rough day.
Oh, man. I would hate to be doing that. Is the filtration, I've heard this before, I don't know if it's a rumor, a lot of it's for clarity, right? But is it also to get the yeast out so people can't propagate it?
Yeah. Well, we got a centrifuge in front of our filter, so the centrifuge gets most of it, but then a filter polishes it up. So.
Yeah, as the brewmaster, I don't know if you could tell me this. The yeast is the secret sauce of any brewery, right?
Right.
And y'all's is proprietary.
Right.
Yeah. Which that's why again, most brewmasters, we could discuss the recipe with them, and I'm going to discuss it with you. And again, if you just wink at me if I'm close, they a lot of the times are like, yeah, that's a good recipe. And I'll be like, oh, and the yeast, I'm like, no chance, dude. No chance. And which I get though, because you worked so hard to make this, like your yeast, your grains, your gear, all that makes Shiner what Shiner beers are. Sure.
Right.
Of course. The yeast is really like, it's a science.
Yeast in the water.
Yeast in the water.
We got our own artesian well. So
do you really?
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about that. Has it always been that way since day
always
one?
been. Yep. Ever since we
the same water profile.
We drilled another one just because that one wasn't named but 160 something foot deep. But we drilled another one just for backup and keep that one as reserve. But
how incredible! Yeah. So you're using straight from the well.
Straight from the well.
That's incredible. Because again, homebrewers, we have this tendency to, I don't, but some people have this tendency to complicate brewing, like overthink it. Like, and you can, again, judge me if you'd like. I'm no stranger to that. Yeah. My pop and I just use straight RO because, the San Marcos City water is not good for brewing. The pH is off. But just straight RO instead of salting it at all. And we've made great beer off of that. And so we're like, okay, we don't need to salt it. We're fine. But there'll be people writing in, Josh, you are missing the whole point of, like, I get it. I probably am. But like you said, for here, that's incredible that y'all could just, I mean, you're literally keeping the tradition of day one.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And was Cosmos, he was brought in, it was the Shiners Brewing Association, I think, when they started it. And then they brought him in to be the head brewer.
Right.
And so from day one with Cosmos, doing it off y'all's well.
Yep.
Incredible.
Right.
I had no idea. Is that gone over on the tour? I forgot that part. Yeah, wow.
That's one of our secrets. I should have told you.
Yeah. In the middle of the night, if I come in here with a pump and so guys, the secret to this recipe. No, before we get into that recipe though, no, you know what? I'll just get right in the recipe because I was going to ask, we already covered brewing methods that y'all do, like the brew house, the volume, the beers. After we talk about the recipe, I'll try to pick your brain about your thoughts of, oh, you know what? No, I'll just jump into that. I'd like the recipe to be last. Maybe people have to watch this episode. The craft beer. So again, I'm self-deprecating, but I know I'm in the bigger picture young, but there's all these doom and gloom articles about craft beer. Young people aren't drinking. They care about their health. Do y'all see, like, y'all seem steady still as a craft brewery in production, but you see your peers in the industry in Austin, a craft brewery might open and the two will close. I don't know if saturated is the right word, but there's a ton of variables. The state of the industry, do y'all, like, how does that affect you as a brewmaster? Does that mean like, oh, maybe we have to tighten down on experimental stuff and just stick with what we know? Or how does that affect you as the brewmaster?
Well, so now we make light beers.
Yeah.
So low calorie. So we're catering to them skinny people. Yeah. Not want to drink. I mean, not want to gain no weight. So.
Yeah, it's true. Shiner Light's very popular. I see the kegs of it a lot. And people... Yeah, drinking in general allegedly is going down, but I don't know what you weirdos are doing with your free time then. Right. Here's my unsolicited opinion. I think people have, I've noticed this anecdotally with young people. I live in a college town. I hear all these lizard brain opinions from college people are insufferable, Greg. I'll just leave it at that. But they're like a lot of people just struggle with moderation. Right? I bought a 12-pack of Shiner. I'm drinking it all right now. As opposed to like, I view craft beer as, again, a community thing where I'm going to watch the Super Bowl and we're sharing it with people with good food, good company. That's how I view brewing. That's how I view consuming beer. If I find myself in a situation where every night I'm all alone and I'm getting plastered, call for help.
Right? Yeah. That ain't gonna happen. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah. But the young people are, and I don't know if it's because of technology and they're so connected. Yeah. I just find that they get into a hobby. Humans do this in general. Not any age can do this, but like all in. So if they're into beer, that's their whole identity, and they're just always this. And then they get burned out, and they're in AA, and then they move on to cigarettes and coffee or whatever. But I think if people would I think craft beer, the story we try to tell and we have. I joked with Kevin, we have dozens of people who are entertained by this podcast. No, tens of thousands of people listen to it at least. Maybe only half of them aren't related to me. They, a lot of what we do with our messaging is just trying to promote the art of craft beer and appreciating, like, I could have a 12-ounce pour and be satisfied, not having, the inebriation is a bonus, but it's not my goal. Like, otherwise I would drink whatever style you gave me at freezer temp, so I didn't have to actually taste it. And I'm, you know what I mean? That's alcoholism. Like, I imagine, what y'all are going for too as a craft brewery is sharing the craft with people, that this beer accompanies your lifestyle. It's not your lifestyle that accompanies it. You can be healthy and have a light beer. A Shiner Bock is not also very, I don't know actually the calories on it, but it's so low ABV, it's probably not that high calorie. Just control how you drink.
Right.
But again though, so if it, like, y'all shift y'all's brewing based on market demand. So as a head brewer though, sorry, I keep interrupting you. I'll say this, and then is it a pain that sometimes maybe you just want to brew Bock or Pils or whatever, but you have to brew other styles because of market demand?
What it is, I mean, the brewers, they'll tell you, God dang, why we got to brew this? But, like you said, it's demand. I mean, people out there that don't want to drink, say, Bock or a Pilsner or whatever, they want to go with light beer. So that's what we veered off and did some light beers, so, and we still got the Bockers are still number one though.
Yeah. And do you suspect it will be for even your tenure, however long that might be?
Oh yeah, I think it'll still be there. Yeah.
As the flagship front runner.
Right.
Yeah. I think so too. Y'all did that. I don't know if it's annual. I only remember it from a couple years ago, the Tex series, that limited.
Yeah.
Like
IPAs.
The IPAs.
We still got them.
Okay. Are they year round?
Year round, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that your favorite style to brew?
No.
I was just laughing with it. I think we related on it before recording. Just like people call me boring, but it's like, guys, again, I know what I like. And if I can enjoy a cigar on my patio, talking with my wife, eating dinner or whatever, I want the cigars after the dinner, and having a light beer, and light as in like not high ABV,
right?
But that's the dream. It's what I enjoy. But anyways, if you don't mind, I want to talk about the recipe I came up with, and if you think it'll create a decent Bock style, you don't. And again, if this ends up being a catastrophe, I'll just edit it out and go, and that will do it for this week. We do 5-gallon batch kits because for most homebrewers, that's what they're brewing. Right. That's the standard. Some people, we have tiers where they're getting 2 of these kits, and so they're doing a 10-gallon, or some of them can get 3 of these kits. But this, what I came up with, is for a 5-gallon batch. Okay. And we're doing 3 pounds of Munton's Pale Planet, which is a 2-row. Because I couldn't get 6-row from them, but I'll go into that why I chose this Planet. And then 3 pounds, so 3 pounds of the 2-row, 3 pounds of Vienna, 2 pounds of flaked corn, 1 pound of Crystal 60, which is also caramel 60, right. And then 3 ounces of black malt. And so the main reason I use that grain bill, our wonderful sponsors, Munton's, that's the malt they're able to provide. Right. So they don't have a 6-row. But my idea is with the mash to do 75 or maybe even 90 minute to help that 2-row with the starch conversion with the corn. Right. Like that's my thought process. If I'm going to use a 2-row, I'm going to do a longer mash. That grain bill, first off, is that decent for what I'm going for? That's
that's pretty close. I don't know what your color is supposed to be coming out at.
I should look up the SRM, what I put on there. What should I go heavier on the caramel or
I don't know,
more of the black?
How many pounds you said you
had? Just one pound. Yeah. So 3, 2, 1.
It might take a little more, but
okay,
be close.
So maybe bump it up to maybe 1.5.
Yeah, maybe so.
I like that. No, you cannot hurt my feelings, my friend. I promise. You can say like, yeah, dude, that's close. No, I like that. So maybe I'll bump it up to, I'll throw it in the calculator. Do you, off the top of your head, what am I looking for color? Do you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. See, again, no, you're fine, but it should be darker than what you're getting.
I'm thinking.
I'm perfect. No, yeah. And you think bumping up the Crystal 60 or should I bump up the black malt or both? Like I could go to from 3 ounce to 4 or even 5 of the black malt as well.
You might do that, but add to that one instead of the other one. Yeah.
I'll throw it in the calculator.
Yeah.
That's another thing I love. I'm sure y'all use software because you're software. Like I don't know how your pop and in the olden days they did it. They must have been good at math because I'm trying to calculate stuff. And I'm like, just go to my computer. It's dumbed me down, but I wasn't smart to begin with, Greg. So the mash, does that make sense that I would, instead of doing a traditional 60-minute, which is what homebrewers typically do, would you say is 75 enough or should I just go ahead and do the 90?
I think 75 should be plenty.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep that then. And then our hop provider, wonderful people, hopstrat.com. They don't have Brewer's Gold. I think that's traditionally what people that have gotten that secret out of Shiner, that Brewer's Gold is used in Bock. But I'm going to use Northern Brewer. I'm only going to use a half ounce for a 60-minute boil because we're not trying to get super bitter.
No.
And we're not going to do any late stage boil add-on additions because we'll need that aroma or whatever. It's a very smooth, straightforward.
There you go.
So
you got it.
The half ounce of Northern Brewer, I'll keep that there. And then we're using a liquid yeast strain from our sponsors, Imperial, and it's a German one called Harvest. We're shooting for a target gravity of 1.046, or I'll just say 1046. Final gravity was going to be like 1012, and that's going to make it like 4.4 to 4.5.
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
So I'm going to adjust that color. I like that. Because, I don't. I mean, we're not, people who brew clones know we're not making a 1-for-1, but they want to get close. Yeah. And like you said, and people who are in the club, they're no strangers to the concept that the yeast that you'll use here is what will make Shiner Bock on top of ingredients. So I'm not going to try to sneak a vial away and propagate, I promise. But Harvest is just a very straightforward, versatile strain. So what I suspect we're going to get out of this, if we do the 90 or the 75-minute mash, especially a little bit of that nuttiness, that the Cicero would have provided, more grit, more nuttiness, and then that yeast is just going to clean it and crisp it up. Highly flocculent. I like to say
highly
that word.
flocculent.
It's highly flocculent. And then, do you have any suggestions on, like, how often or how long is Bock in a bright tank before it's packaged? Like ideally, how long should we be cold conditioning this?
Yeah, we ferment. I mean, totally so we've got unit tanks.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so we're 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
from start to finish.
Yeah, that is. We tell people too, if you're patient, especially with German styles, time is its best friend.
Exactly. Yep.
Like let it do its thing. Especially so. I won't even dive into the whole topic of pressure fermentation, but a lot of homebrewers, myself included, I don't have the budget for glycol chillers and all this stuff. I mean, I do, but I have kids, so they take my money. But we mitigate that through pressure fermentation at room temp, even with lager yeast. But this strain is probably 52 degrees recommended. And if you don't have a unit tank, a lot of people don't, when fermentation is done, put it in, package it or put it in secondary. Would you?
Yeah.
Put it in secondary, let it sit for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be crystal clear. You get it transferred to a keg and life will be good.
Right. Drink you Bock.
I have to ask you too, if gun to your head kind of question, bottle or draft, your preferred way of enjoying your beer?
Oh, all the above.
I love it. You're going to be a good politician, man. I like this. People know we're biased because we work on the draft side of stuff. And, but I love draft beer. Is it always noticeably different? Of course not. It's the psychological effect. And especially a good pour, someone who knows what they're doing behind the bar, tend into that, and then get that perfect head. Oh my gosh.
Right.
Life is good. Like that's probably why y'all's garden is always packed whenever it's operating hours. Just people just want draft beer. Is there, I'm going to wrap it up. Well, first off, I didn't even get into the barbecuing.
Oh, you.
Do you mind?
I don't mind.
Do you have the time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to cut this so that I act like I didn't mess up and totally skip over. No, eating is one of my favorite passions in life, Greg, and barbecue. Barbecue is God's gift to man, and Texans have perfected it. I'm making that claim. We have a lot of listeners in Kansas City. Come at me. How did you get into competitive barbecuing, and much less at a world-class level. Y'all qualified, it's the World Food Championships.
Yeah, right.
Let's talk about your barbecue career.
Oh, yeah, it's another. Started from just doing local here on a barrel pit, Made a barrel pit, and me and my brother-in-law and a couple other friends, same thing. You get a case of beer or two and sit down and
Start smoking.
Yeah. And then we had a local, fire department or somebody had a cook-off in here in Shiner, and we started there, and we won a couple here and there, So, well, shoot. But then we built a pit, and it went on from there. This was years and years ago, but and then in 2013, I think is when we went in Luling, Texas.
Yeah,
You drove through there.
I drove right through it. Yes, sir.
They had a competition over there, and brisket, ribs, and chicken, and we won it. And we were all on the pit that evening, drinking and celebrating, and this guy comes up to me with a paper saying, "Hey, you qualified for the World Food Competition." I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, it's in Las Vegas this year." I said, "Well, we ain't going to Vegas,
right.
Well, just fill it out anyway. They'll send you some information or whatever." So I did it, fill it out. 4 or 5 months later, well, let's go to Vegas.
Y'all found a way.
Pull the pit up there, all the way up there to Las Vegas. Yeah.
What's that drive to Vegas? 14?
Pulling the trailer.
Yeah. Oh, pulling the trailer. 18 to 23. Yeah. You're not going fast at all.
Yeah. So.
And how'd y'all do there at that first time?
Not good.
Okay. we'll cut that out. No, I don't edit it. But how many years have y'all qualified for World Food?
That was the only place that we really cooked or that had that qualification.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So anyway.
What an interesting thing. Like, I've often wondered if I should just make up like world food thing to get people to cook for me, and then I get to tell them if it's good or not. That's what we're in the wrong business.
Right.
We gotta come up with. Yeah, I kind of do that. We do a Kolsch Cup every May, and believe it or not, people pay us to send us their Kolsch, and I get to judge them. Life is good, but
right.
with what is like, this is just a passion project, the barbecue, because I know on site y'all have a full-fledged kitchen.
Yeah, we just opened that a couple of years ago.
Yeah, Is the goal to do more food? Like, as a brewmaster, do you get to have your hands over there as well? I know there's a separate person.
Yeah. No, Tommy, he got that barbecue down over there. He's he had a shop in town, so he moved over here. He sold that, and we hired him over here. So
that's so he's been doing another homegrown.
Yeah, he's been doing it for years.
Yeah. So. And on top of the food endeavor, the distillery too. So last time I've been out here, that wasn't there. A beautiful building, haven't been in it yet. Is obviously, again, these are autonomous in regards to y'all aren't. The beer's not affecting the spirits and vice versa. Right. But how has that been since distilling? Because that has been not that long. How long has Shiner Distillery been a thing?
Yeah, it's going to be 3 years here in April that we put our first.
That's pretty new.
Oh yeah. So we got bourbon out now here last couple of months, and they've been over 2.5 years, 2 3/4 years in a barrel. So it's been turning out good.
Yeah. And then again, final thing to actually wrap it up, because I said I respect your time and I took it way too long. I apologize. Again, kind of going back to the state of the industry, do you see 2026 any glaring changes you might have to adapt to? Like, do you think, obviously Bock, I think everyone's in agreement, it's going to be the front runner like it always is. But do you think those low calorie light beers are going to probably start bumping their way up as the industry shifts,
Yeah, it's hard to say, but
that's why you have a marketing team. You just get right. That's why you have a marketing team. Yeah, but as a brewer, though, you do, and it has to be cognizant.
You hope
as
so.
a brewmaster.
You think that, you want to think that, but it's going to happen. But we'll see. But
best case scenario, they move only to Kolsch, and it's just Shiner Kolsch, and we have a revolution. No, I'm kidding. Like I said, Greg, I sincerely appreciate your time. Thank you for doing the interview. Anytime. And we're gonna go shoot some B-roll. I'm gonna see if I can't hang out with him more, and we'll go from there. And I appreciate you guys watching. We'll catch you next week. And that will do it for this episode of the Homebrew Happy Hour. If you have a question you'd like us to discuss on a future episode, of course, you could go to homebrewhappyhour.com and click on that submit a question link on the top of the page. But why don't you call it in to 325-305-6107 and potentially get yourself that gift card to KeckConnection.com. Big breath for thank you to our show sponsors like Muntons Malt, premium grains for a better brew day. If you aren't already brewing with Muntons, you can give them a try exclusively through the Chub Club at patreon.com/homebrew happy hour. For the best hops available, give our friends at hopstrat.com a visit and pick up what you need for your next brew day. Also, get a pack of premium imperial yeast along with delicious recipes from us when you join the Chub Club. One more time, patreon.com/homebrew happy hour. Join a recipe receiving tier and come brew with us. A huge thank you to every member of our Chub Club. I'm Joshua Stubing. Thanks for listening.